90% of the relationships we have in life are transactional. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just a very simple process. It means I give you something, you give me something back in return. What that typically looks like is I give you a product or service, you give me money. There's nothing wrong with that. You can drive advocacy off of transactional relationships. However, for the 2%, we need to move them up the scale to what's called a neighborly relationship, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's how you treat your friends and neighbors. So has anyone ever had an experience, who has kids? Lots of you guys. So you ever had the experience of a friend comes to you and says, hey, could you do me a favor? Could you pick up Johnny from after school when you're picking up your kids? Could I borrow something from you? Could you do me a favor? And what do you say? Sure. Yes. Here's what you don't do. You don't write it down. You don't have something next to your phone that says, I picked up Sally's kid from school. Unless, of course, you're a marketer. And then not only do we write it down, we threaten the consumer with the information. The classic story on this one, like many of you, travel a lot. I'm a member of every loyalty program in the world, which sort of begs the question, am I loyal at all? But I checked into this hotel chain late at night, get to the front desk. The front desk person looks and says, oh, Mr. Knox, we saw that you used to be a gold member. You didn't stay enough nights with us. So we've downgraded you from your upgrade because you're only a silver member. So what she did is she took a neighborly-like relationship and drove it down to transactional because she was following the rules. Imagine how that conversation would have been different if she had said, oh, Mr. Knox, we've missed you. We saw you used to spend a lot of nights with us. You're not spending as many nights. I hope it's because you're not traveling as much. But we'd like you to stand, we'll keep this upgrade, but just want to let you know that you're on the cusp now, right? I would have advocated that. And instead, what we do, our business processes tend to drive us from neighborly relationships down to transactional relationships. And what I'm begging you to do is when you find your 2%, treat them differently. And every bone in your body screams, no, I treat all my consumers the same, and I say BS. Your 2% is worth so much to you, you should treat them differently. And guess what? The consumer doesn't care. They don't care. They understand that some people are more valuable than others and that you treat them differently. And the way you treat them differently is to treat them in a neighborly relationship.